Good afternoon, everyone. All of you can sit in any comfortable posture. Relax your shoulders. Complete awareness on your breathing. Close your eyes. Awareness on your breathing. Chant one arm together. Hands in Namaste. We'll chant one Om, three Shanti together. Take a deep inhale. Ah. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. So we are going to discuss today the labor physiology. So any questions with the pregnancy asana methodology, if you have, you can ask me. Otherwise, we'll continue with the pregnancy physiology.
Nisha ji, can you explain a bit about the assignments? What exactly we are
Assignments, I
supposed?
will explain. Remind me, have you all gone through the instructions?
Uh, yeah, whatever you have given the list, we have gone through that. But
Instructions are there. You just ask me what is not clear so I can explain accordingly. Otherwise, you will stay stuck still. So tell me clearly where you are feeling stuck and I'll tell you what you need to do.
okay,
Okay. So just read through the instructions. If you have any doubts, where you have doubt, just let me know. I can explain in detail.
okay. And by when is that we are supposed to submit the
So
assignments?
it's written in the your schedule.
And by 9th February it is
Yeah,
written.
then you have to submit by 9th.
Okay.
Okay.
We can fill it online also, right? Like we need to write it down, or we can.
No, you just have to make one single document. You make Word document, convert it into the PDF and send it to me.
Okay.
I-
Yes,
Is
Varsha.
there any word limits or page limits, or we can
No,
do it
no,
as
no. You just, there is no limit. You have to put down whatever you have learned here. Yeah? You don't have to write instructions. You just have to write the names of the practices. That's it. Even if you don't go in the flow, it's okay. You don't have to put it in the sequence. You can just take a like, these are the standing asanas, these are the sitting, these are the supine. That can be done. And then you have learned mudra practices or what kind of meditation you would like to give for that particular condition. So you can mention that these are the practices you can give, and you have to emphasize on certain practices that is you have specifically chosen for that condition. Okay. Yes. Okay. So we'll be starting with the pregnancy physiology. Sorry, labor physiology. So can you tell me what all hormones play a role during labor?
Relaxing,
पूजा क्या बोला आपने?
relaxing hormone,
रिलैक्सिन क्या करेगा?
वो flexibility देता है बेबी को बाहर आने
Okay.
के लिए।
हाँ बेटा
Somebody's mic is on, please mute it. Okay. Any other hormones that you know?
progesterone
What will happen to progesterone? Progesterone, relaxin will increase as you come close to your labor due date. What will happen to progesterone? It will decrease or increase? What is the function of progesterone?
Should decrease. It should decrease.
Why it should decrease? Or who is saying increase?
Me.
Rina, why it should increase?
Because progesterones are the relaxing hormones, ma'am. Or am I confused?
Okay. Millie, why it should decrease?
Like we had learned in the beginning that its main function is to supply everything that's needed for the baby's growth and everything. So I think near labor time, it is grown.
You don't want your baby to be growing.
We don't
so
want it. But
you are close, but the explanation is it's wrong. Progesterone doesn't contribute to the baby's growth. Progesterone, the main initial function is to thicken the uterine lining. Okay, so as you come into the third trimester and as the dilation of the cervix starts happening, the progesterone levels need to go down. Otherwise, the tissues that has been increased to make the uterus thicken, it will not reduce, and then it will result into long labors. Like you may have contractions, but then no, the dilation is not happening at all because of the thick tissue.
So the uterus skin gets thinner with the first trimester.
Sorry?
So the uterus gets thinner.
Yes, uterus will start getting thinner, but it all depends on pregnancy to pregnancy. For some, the process is like gradual. Okay, and for some it can be faster, so it may happen after 8 months, or for some it can start even as early as 7th month. Okay, so we'll understand how it will happen. So progesterone levels will decrease. रिलैक्सिन का अमाउंट इंक्रीज करेगा क्योंकि हमें सर्विक्स डायलेशन के लिए रिलैक्स करना है टिश्यूज को, तो रिलैक्सिन हेल्प करता है और नीचे स्पेस ज्यादा क्रिएट करनी है. सो एज यू कम क्लोज टू द ड्यू डेट देयर हैज टू बी मोर स्पेस इन योर पेल्विस. तो पेल्विस में स्पेस क्रिएट करने के लिए जैसे जैसे आप थर्ड ट्राइमेस्टर में पहुंचते हो और नियर द ड्यू डेट रिलैक्सिन का अमाउंट इंक्रीज होता है. प्रोजेस्टेरॉन प्रोजेस्टेरॉन का लेवल एक्चुअली रिड्यूस होगा, इट विल ग्रेजुअली रिड्यूस, क्योंकि हमें यूटरस को पतला बनाना है in order to prepare for the delivery. So we want to dilate the cervix and we want to dilate the lower part of the uterus so the baby can transit into the birth canal. बेबी नीचे कैसे जाएगा? जैसे जैसे वो टिश्यू पतला होगा, यूटरस लाइनिंग है जो सर्विक्स के कंटिन्यूएशन में है, वो लाइनिंग जब पतला होगा तभी बेबी नीचे जा पाएगा. सो प्रोजेस्टेरॉन लेवल्स अगर हाई है तो वो डायलेशन नहीं होता है. तो कभी कभी क्या होता है कि लॉन्ग लेबर्स आवर्स होते हैं और डॉक्टर बोलेगा कि आपका सर्विक्स डायलेट नहीं हो रहा है, आप लेबर में हो लेकिन सर्विक्स डायलेट नहीं हो रहा है. तो ये प्रॉब्लम होता है जब हाई लेवल ऑफ प्रोजेस्टेरॉन होता है. और दिस इज कॉमन for those who have been on tablets to stop the bleeding. If they have had any bleeding in the second trimester, then doctor may put them into the tablets that can increase the thickness of this tissue, this wall. So if the tablet is not they do not stop the tablet on at the right time, then what will happen? The uterus will be thick, the cervix will be thick, and you will not be able to you will not have the dilation, and it will lead to long labor. So most cases it is the problem of the over consumption of the progesterone or similar composition, which results into the thickening of the cervix. Is there any other hormone that is released during labor
Estrogen?
or which one?
Estrogen?
What will happen to estrogen?
I think it will increase, no? But really, I don't know.
Till what? Why it should increase?
So estrogen helps with the baby's growth, right, towards the end of pregnancy. So
It helps in maturing certain organs of the baby. So it will be high. It will not increase, but it, unlike progesterone, it will stay high to mature the baby's organs.
So Nisha, what are the consequences of the imbalance of estrogen and progesterone in this case? Because then there is a
That's why
imbalance,
you
right?
feel more, that's why women cry out easily, more
Okay, yeah.
sensitive. You will see more mood swings in the third trimester, low energy, depression.
You will see more what?
You will have low energy, emotionally more unstable because of this. Okay. Any other hormone? We have
HCG,
not this. Yes.
HCG,
Which one?
HCG.
HCG starts reducing from the second trimester itself, because once the placenta is developed, there is no like more role of the HCG. Very important hormone is oxytocin. What is the function of oxytocin in a human body?
Happy hormones.
Happy hormone. Is there any other function of oxytocin? How does it make you feel happy? How does oxytocin release in your? Yes, it makes you feel happy. But what stimulates oxytocin?
Because it's related with serotonin, or like it's help?
No, it's different.
No. Okay.
How does the oxytocin release in your body? ऑक्सीटोसिन कैसे रिलीज होता है? हाँ, वो आपको हैप्पीनेस देता है.
When we feel loud,
Yes, very good. So it's a
affection.
love hormone. Okay, when you cuddle somebody, you you feel protected, loved with somebody. Like you are meeting your friends. You even petting your and like your pet, a dog, cat, anyone, your family member. You're hugging your mother, hugging your husband. So the feeling you get that no, every time you cuddle somebody or you hug somebody, it releases oxytocin. Okay, and oxytocin is the main labor hormone. It is responsible for creating contractions in a pregnant woman. Okay, so and many women starts experiencing Braxton Hicks. Braxton Hicks are the false contractions. They can start as early as 7th month. Okay, so your uterus is just getting prepared for labor and the delivery. So as you will you will come into the third trimester, your oxytocin levels are gradually going to rise up. As your oxytocin levels rise up, it will suppress the progesterone levels. Okay, that's why it goes like in that way. As the oxytocin levels are going to go high, it is going to push the progesterone levels down. Then that's how your labor should be. If oxytocin levels are too high but your progesterone levels are too high, then it is not going to lead to a smooth labor. If your progesterone level, if your oxytocin levels are too low and your progesterone levels are also too low, still you cannot push the baby out because the dilation of cervix is there, but you do not have contractions to push the baby out. Okay, so as the oxytocin levels will go higher, it will reduce, your body will automatically reduce the progesterone levels gradually. So there is a gradual decline of the progesterone and there will is gradual incline of the oxytocin level. So the
So Nisha, they say
stronger,
like it's a. Oh, sorry, it was a blocking. Sorry, I think the Wi-Fi is. You said like it's happy hormone, right? So how does it manifest the like just this part of the happiness or like what I don't understand how it gets.
it's it is not a happy hormone, it is the love hormone actually. But when you feel loved, you feel happy. So as I said, every time you hug somebody you love, you feel loved and oxytocin is released. Okay, even if you hug the dog, you pet the cow, oxytocin is released because it is a love hormone and love brings happiness. So it's a byproduct.
So it's not naturally released. Yeah, like it's like the
It
it
is
has to be.
naturally released, but the
Yeah,
natural release
okay.
is just like every hormone released because of certain reasons, right? Your thyroid hormone, the moment you eat food, then it will be released. If you do not eat food, it will not release. So every hormone needs some kind of stimulation. Okay, so feeling loved is a stimulation for oxytocin.
But doing any sport or meditation and all of that, it's not related. Like
No,
self-love.
when you love yourself, self-love brings oxytocin. Okay, so when you do meditation and when you love yourself, okay, when you accept yourself, love yourself, it's not about somebody, it's about having love within yourself. So if you have love within yourself also, you can have oxytocin. So here, oxytocin, another function during pregnancy is to induce labor, to prepare the uterus with the contractions. So induces contractions and induce labor. And best way to increase your oxytocin levels is through baby connection. The stronger the baby connection you have, thus your labor will be very smooth and easy. So there was a case. There was this lady, maybe 2.5 years ago, when she did the course with us. There were two ladies, so I can tell the story of both. One did the offline residential training and one online training. The one who did the online training, she shared her experience with the labor. She is a single mother, and uh, just before, like few months ago, few months before she conceived, she had met with an accident where she had the truck rolled over her hip. So there was a hip surgery done, and then doctor had told her that you will never be able to conceive. But she conceived, and when she conceived, she was not married. She is a single mother, as I said, and she's Indian. So still in India, have to be a single mother is a big taboo. And she conceived. Her parents didn't want to talk to her, cut the connections, and she was alone. And then she stayed in some Airbnb houses, and then when they come to know she is a single mother, then they would like, okay, this is not allowed, you please empty your house, like that. So throughout her pregnancy she shifted few houses, and she didn't have any emotional support. So she would talk to her baby all the time, she would tell positive affirmations. To unknowingly she was doing this to encourage her own self. She was talking to her baby that we'll be fine, we are strong, and this and that. She was continuously talking to her baby throughout the pregnancy. And when she went and first time when she went and consulted the doctor, doctor said that you have conceived but you will not be able to deliver normally because you had a surgery. So she has heard that, but then she was already having too many things going on around her. So she may not have no taken that very seriously or whatever, not put attention to that fear of not able to deliver normally. Then she said that my labor was like a butter. My baby just slipped out like a butter, and she didn't even have to push the baby. She was like, I was just breathing like this and my baby came out. So it was, she said that it was the most pleasing experience of her life. And then her daughter must be now 4.5, 5 years old, and she says that shares a very different connection with her daughter, because she didn't have any emotional support, so she all the time was talking to her daughter in the womb, and she considered her baby as the complete family and the support. So that helped her go through that difficult time, even though she didn't do much yoga or anything, but just the strong connection she shared with her baby led her to the easy labor and delivery. And then there was this case when I was teaching the course, and then she realized what went wrong with her during her pregnancy. She was having a very hard time with her husband. They were having a lot of fights, and due to that, she was going through anxiety. So her entire pregnancy, she was suffering from chronic anxiety, and that chronic anxiety led to complicated pregnancy, and that complicated pregnancy led to premature birth. Premature birth led to uh, the baby, the it was c-section, and she had a very painful delivery altogether. The entire period was very painful, pregnancy and even the delivery, even the premature delivery. She went into premature labor, and then there was a C-section done. And her son has developed a psychological asthma because she was entire pregnancy was under anxiety, and her son also had developed erratic heart rate. And then and it was premature birth, so the lungs were also not fully matured enough to survive outside. and it led to asthma issue. And then she says that now you are telling all these things, I can realize that the amount of stress I've given to my baby in the womb, now the baby is just giving me back the same amount of stress the baby is giving her. And that time she had come with her son. uh, Her son was 3.5 years ago, 3.5 years old, like around 4 years ago. So all these things can have a long lasting effect on the child. And I've seen there was this lady who did meditation, because throughout her pregnancy she did like practiced meditation, because she is married to an army person, and her husband was most of the time away from her. So to keep herself from away from all the negativity, loneliness, and dealing with all the things alone during pregnancy, she diverted her mind into meditation. And her daughter, like, I was with that girl, the small child. She was around 8 9 months old, and constantly she's smiling. The like, even if you are stressed, you look at her and you will melt, like all your stress would go away. She's constantly smiling, and I have not seen her in 2 days. I have not seen her being like being cranky or crying or anything. She was like that peace and the like the calmness that's carries on her face. It was amazing. So it definitely reflects in what you do during your pregnancy. And of course, it will affect your labor. So that's why I say the stronger, even if you don't do labor preparation exercise because of certain complications, you cannot do labor preparation exercise, but talk to your baby. Especially as you come into the third trimester, it is very important for you to talk to your baby as much as possible. And there was this doctor uh, who also shared her story that when she was coming closer to her due date, she went for a checkup, and the umbilical cord was wrapped around the baby's neck. It was like double wrapped. So she spoke to her baby every day that I know you can take this off on your own. I know you have that intelligence to unwrap the cord. And she every day spoke to her baby, and she said that we want to go through the delivery together, and with minimal efforts and minimal pain, and you can unwrap yourself from this. And then when she was in labor, doctor checked, there was no cord around the neck. So understand that babies are listening everything what you're saying, and babies are like a sponge. They just absorb, and they will be the most obedient when they are in the womb. But you are not going to be like a boss and tell them, oh, do this, do that. No, then they will not listen, because that is our human nature. Like if somebody tells you don't think of an elephant, and you'll think of an elephant. Okay, so it is our inbuilt nature. So we don't want to like be bossy and order our babies, but you can just suggest your baby, okay, I know you know how to do this. You can correct yourself. You can correct your position. If the baby is in a bridge position, you can also tell your baby to navigate the right position. Talk to your baby. The more you speak to your baby, the higher the chances are that the condition resolves itself. Okay, so oxytocin has a strong power, like it is the main hormone of the labor. And higher the oxytocin levels, easier the labor will be. And the best way to increase your oxytocin levels is the baby connection meditation. And stay calm. Stay calm and relaxed and sleep well. These are the few important points of increasing your oxytocin levels. Oxytocin levels, if they are low, these are the main causes for the depression, anxiety. When the oxytocin levels drop, these are the then anxiety and depression are the outcome of the low oxytocin levels.
So the way to increase it is to, like as you said, baby connection and giving herbs and doing things for ourselves, right? There is no other way or any plant or any medicine.
No, there are medicines, but it is the synthetic oxytocins are available in the market. Like many times, doctor give you the when you are on your due date and the labor has not started, but you have dilated 2-3 centimeter, then doctor will say, let me induce you. That means they are going to give you the injections of the oxytocin to induce the labor. Okay, but that there is no 100% guarantee that that synthetic oxytocin works on you, because it is the baby who is going to decide when to come, and your body raises the oxytocin levels when the baby is ready to come out into the world. But if you do not have a strong connection with the baby, then the baby will like, okay, let me stay inside, I'm not in hurry to see my mother. Okay, if you create the strong connection, then the baby will also be excited and in no, in the state of mind, I would like to see my mother, I want to meet my mother. Okay, and that will actually boost your oxytocin levels also.
मैम मैम जैसे डिलीवरी के टाइम पर कुछ डॉक्टर्स मतलब कुछ डॉक्टर्स जल्दी डिलीवरी के लिए जो हार्मोन का इंजेक्शन लगाते हैं वो यही इंजेक्शन लगाते हैं क्या?
हाँ, वो अगर बोल रहे हैं कि इंड्यूस कर रहे हैं तो यही इंजेक्शन लगा रहे हैं.
ओके
Okay, so oxytocin levels increase. Then, are there any other hormones?
I think there's prolactin also.
Prolactin, yes. What is the function of prolactin?
I think this helps in breastfeeding.
Yes, so it prepares you for the breastfeeding. So prolactin is also increased, and many times there are chances the breasts are leaking milk as you are coming close to the due date. That is completely normal because now your body is preparing for the breastfeeding. Are there any other hormones?
Is there no release of this hormones what we release during the workouts, exercise?
Endorphins.
Endorphins, yeah. So there is no role of that.
Nisha, the prolactin starts actually as soon as the first trimester because of the chest expansion. I mean, is it like related to prolactin, the chest expansion?
No, it is estrogen. First, your estrogen will grow the breast tissues bigger, and then as you are in the third trimester, then gradually prolactin levels will go higher, and towards the 9th month, you will see the prolactin is high and able to produce milk.
Okay, so prolactin is not being activated in the first trimester, or yes, it's starting?
No, prolactin is there itself in our body, but it is not increasing. It will increase only towards the end of your pregnancy.
But it is there from the beginning of the pregnancy.
It is there in all of us, whether we are pregnant or not, because it has many more functions, but then it will increase as you will come towards the due date because your now body will prepare for the breastfeeding. So as your oxytocin levels will rise, prolactin levels will also rise. Yeah.
So this is why like some women cannot breastfeed easily because maybe the one of the hormone was not like, what's the name of it? You said
Oxytocin.
the oxytocin. The oxytocin is not very high, so this is why some women cannot breastfeed.
We will understand, yes. So oxytocin, there is a role of oxytocin in breastfeeding also. So, but if you go for C-section, in that case, your oxytocin levels stay low. In that case, your body might be able to produce milk, but you may not be able to let the milk out because the low oxytocin. So it depends on the delivery, how your delivery went, and it will affect the breastfeeding cycle.
Just
So
one last question about the
no,
oxytocin. Is it
it's not
possible
like
for women?
progesterone and oxytocin. Like progesterone will start going down as your oxytocin levels rise. But oxytocin and prolactin are two different hormones. But as I just mentioned, as the oxytocin is going like higher, same way your prolactin will go high from the third trimester.
Like a woman that cannot breastfeed, she can have like injection of one of these hormones, or like if in the ultimate.
No, it is very easy. You don't need injection. You just have to connect with your baby and oxytocin will be released. Why
No,
you
yeah,
want
of
the
course.
injection?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, we'll discuss breastfeeding. Maybe we have a class tomorrow. Endorphins level increase. What is the function of endorphin during labor?
To reduce the stress.
It's like the pain resistance, or no?
Yes, it helps in reducing your pain. So it is a natural painkiller. Okay, like when you exercise, you are giving stress to your body, but because of endorphins, you do not feel the stress. Okay, and pregnancy stress is the labor stress is a positive stress where the stress is coming because of the opening of the muscles and not from the injuring of the muscles. When you injure yourself and hurt yourself, hurt your muscle, that is a negative stress. But here, your muscles are opening up, your tissues are opening up in order to deliver the baby. So it is similar to exercising. When you exercise, your muscles open up. Okay, so it results, you're contracting and relaxing muscles just like you do in exercise. Okay, any form of exercise you do, you're contracting the muscles and relaxing the muscles. So it is during the labor time, the endorphin levels are going to rise up, first of all, to help you deal with the pain. So many times people are so scared of the labor pain, but your body is capable of dealing this pain automatically because there is endorphin release in your body in such amount that you do not feel that much of pain that you think you would feel. Okay, so there is actually no need of epidurals, but epidurals, even the little dose of epidural, if it is not measured correctly, then it can damage some nerve or paralyze your body for some time. And many women have complained the long lasting back pain after taking epidural. Okay, so there are some side effects of epidural. And another very important thing is when you take epidural, it paralyzes the lower abdomen and the pelvic region. So you cannot feel the intensity of the contraction. When you do not feel the intensity of the contractions, you will be mechanically pushing the baby out without feeling it. And it can result into the little long labor because you are looking at the screen for the intensity of your contraction, and then doctor will tell you push now, but you are not feeling any pain, so you do not know how to push, how much to push, how long to push. You are just doing it mechanically, so the push may not be as efficient as it would be otherwise. So there are two
There is
reasons
problem for
why to
urination.
avoid. Just a second, yeah. That is the reason why you want to avoid the epidural, because it can damage the nerve or it can create a back pain for a long term, and you will not have the ability or you will not have the sense how much to push, when to push, or how long to push. Okay, yes, Gaya?
No,
You
I
were
was just
saying?
asking, like the urination, like to urinate also, like the peridural can cause problems, like in urination, like that you cannot urinate, because if it's paralyzed all of these zones, then
No, you will not have sense. You may be able to pass the urine, but you will not have the sense that you have passed the urine. But it
Because
may paralyze
I've
for
heard there are
some
like a
time.
high risk. I've heard there is a high risk of like not being able to urinate. Like some doctors were telling that.
If the
I
nerve
thought
is damaged,
like
then it may affect. So because when you are paralyzed, there is a nerve damage. So it can be the nerve which is stimulating your urinary system. Okay, it could be the sciatica nerve. Any nerve could get damaged. So it is like it totally depends on how the doctor is giving the injection. Okay. Yes, Priya.
Ma'am, what
Yes.
is epidural?
It is a medication which paralyzes, like anesthesia. It is like localized anesthesia.
There's one my neighbor who had a kid. Probably the kid is around 6, 7 years now. After the delivery, she is not able to get onto the feet. So under
So
the
the
waist, it
entire
is
nerve is
completely.
damaged from the lower back to the leg. That nerve is damaged completely.
So she was
Okay,
under.
need some physiotherapy and then yoga, and then she would be able to stimulate the nerve, make new connection and heal. If she is like, it will help, but then the recovery will take some time.
I guess she was under physiotherapy, but almost like 6, 7 years. The case is just getting worse. Now she is into wheelchair. So a small mistake may lead to such a big
Yes,
change in the life.
yes. Okay, so we need to trust our body. Our body has everything. Always understand that if it was so painful process, the human species could have gone extinct, right? Why generation to generation we have been reproducing? Like my grandmother reproduced many kids. Like I have like four uncles and three aunties, like seven siblings. Okay, and maybe two passed away when they were very small after the birth. So like imagine like 9 deliveries. She had 9 deliveries. So understand that if the process was so painful, then why one would go on in delivering the babies? Okay, the problem is we have lost the trust in our own body's capabilities of reproducing and delivering the babies. Animals, all animals, they just deliver in the wild. They don't even need any support thing. They just deliver on their own. They know, they have natural instinct, right? All the birds, they lay the eggs on their own. They don't need a support. So we the problem is we are now becoming, because we have more technology, we have more smartphones, we are becoming more stupid, fearful. We do not have trust in our own bodies capability of reproducing, or we have no faith in our own body. Okay, that is the issue. So need to understand that, always remember the pain you're going through, the labor, it is a pain of the opening pain. So you can even visualize that sunflower is opening. Okay, and while you are focusing at your perineal muscles, you can visualize the blooming of the sunflower or the blooming of the lotus flower. Then you will be able to relax and breathe through that part. And the more you breathe through that part and release release the tension of the muscles, it will be easy for the dilation and relaxation. Okay, the problem with endorphins, no there is a problem with endorphin. The more you stay under stress, the more you stay fearful, you feel anxious about the labor, you stay under stress, or you have any other emotional psychological stress, whether it's a relationship stress or financial stress, whatever the stress could be. Understand that under any kind of a stress, your endorphin levels will be too excess, and too excess endorphins will actually negatively impact the oxytocin. it will reduce the oxytocin levels and result into the long labors, because it considers that your body is under so much of stress and it is dangerous for your body's survival. So they will consider oxytocin to be the threat, and it will your body will reduce oxytocin levels and it will result into the long labors. So there can be some cases that you may have heard that she was in labor, and then labor was prolonged like 15 hours, 17 hours, 24 hours, and then doctor made a c-section. It is because of too much of psychological stress. When you are under stress, understand that there will be too excess of endorphins to deal with that stress, and it is going to negatively impact the your oxytocin levels. And then there are hormones, your stress hormones, adrenalines. Adrenaline and noradrenaline. These are they are also called epinephrine and norepinephrine, stress hormones. Your body is going through stress during labor. That is true. Your body is going through the stress. So these hormones will be released, but they help you making your contraction stronger in pushing stage. And also they help baby to cope with the stress and lack of oxygen. And they also help in making the lungs mature during labor.
The lungs of the woman or of the mother of the kids? I don't understand.
Baby.
So adrenaline helps to do that to the lungs of the baby?
Yes, as mother is releasing adrenaline, baby also releasing adrenaline. So in the mother, what will happen? The contractions will become stronger in a pushing stage, so you can push more efficiently. In the baby, the adrenalines that are released that will help baby cope with the stress and lack of oxygen, and also it will make the baby's lung mature. Okay, understand that whatever hormones the mother is releasing, the baby is also releasing all the hormones. Baby is also releasing oxytocin, but baby is also releasing prolactin, because baby needs milk. So baby also releases prolactin, and that is also the signal to the mother to increase the prolactin hormone to prepare for the breastfeeding.
मैम ये जो आपने बताया था, ये एंड्रोफिन्स जो हार्मोन है, ये जैसे ही मतलब अगर हम स्ट्रेस लेंगे, अगर स्ट्रेस होता है तो ही ये हार्मोन इंक्रीज होता है, अदरवाइज ये नॉर्मल रहता है या फिर नेचुरली ये होता ही है इंक्रीज?
Increase hota hai because it is not a normal condition. You are in pain, so it is high. But if you are mentally also stressed, your physical body is under stress, like you are exercising. When you exercise, you are under physical stress, but you are not mentally stressed. So the endorphin release, and that helps you with the positive stress that is coming through the exercise.
Okay.
But when you are in a labor, there is a physical stress. So to cope up with that physical stress, endorphin levels go high. Okay, but if you are in mental stress, you are fearing the labor, you have other psychological stress, then 2 excess will be released.
Okay.
Okay, same happens with adrenaline and noradrenaline. If your body is under stress, so the efficient amount will be released the adrenaline and noradrenaline will be released in efficient quantity to deal with that physical stress. But if you are psychologically stressed, then again, these hormones will be high and they can also negatively impact the oxytocin. So it is also going to reduce oxytocin levels, resulting into the long labor.
ये वाला भी एंड्रोलाइन भी
Adrenaline and noradrenaline, yes.
okay.
I
हमें
don't
चाहिए
understand the other
लेकिन
one.
हमें सही क्वांटिटी में
I don't
चाहिए. अगर
understand the
थोड़ा सा भी ज्यादा हो गया तो वो नेगेटिवली इम्पैक्ट करेगा. Yes, Gaya.
What is the non-adrenaline? I don't understand the other one that you said. Adrenaline, and then the other one is?
Noradrenaline. These are the brothers for they are the brother hormones for stress.
But they do the same. Well, they kind of have the same
They
effect,
don't
right?
do the same functioning, but they complement each other to deal with the stress.
Okay.
So all these hormones won't release in case of C-section?
C-section, it depends. It is in emergency C-section or planned C-section. Planned C-section, this hormones don't release. Emergency C-section, then of course you have gone through the entire process, then you have such hormones in your body.
So
So, ma'am,
definitely there is change in the baby also, the level of stress the baby can take, or the lungs is matured. All this will definitely have some changes in the baby also, right? If, in case of
Yes,
C-section. So is it like C-section babies are weaker
we
compared to the
will
normal?
discuss. Wait, we'll discuss.
ma'am, so if doctor tells us to give epidural, then we should say no, or
Yes, you use your brain. You say that no, I don't need epidural. I am okay.
Mhm.
Okay. See, when they may have a blind protocol for many things, but it is your body. You should be able to ask why you're doing this. You weigh the pros and cons and then decide whether you want to do it or you want to skip it.
Okay.
तो मैम
Okay.
वो हमसे पूछते हैं या फिर ऐसे ही अपने आप लगा देते हैं?
कोई डॉक्टर्स अच्छे होते हैं तो पूछते हैं, कोई डॉक्टर अच्छे नहीं होते हैं तो नहीं पूछते. ठीक है, बहुत सारे डॉक्टर एपिसियोटोमी भी ऐसे ही कर देते हैं, कट लगा देते हैं विदाउट आस्किंग. ठीक है, अगर पूछो तो वो चिढ़ जाते हैं. लेकिन आप अगर अवेयर हो तो आप पूछ सकते हो. ठीक है, आप पूछोगे तो वो अपने आप सही से जाएंगे. अगर आप ऐसा प्रिटेंड करोगे आपको कुछ नहीं पता है, देन दे विल हैव द owning of your body. They will feel like they are owning your body. ठीक है, वो सोचेंगे ये बॉडी उनका है, उनको जो करना है करेंगे. अगर आपने पूछा तो अगर अच्छा डॉक्टर होगा, अच्छे से एक्सप्लेन करेगा, बाद में आप जो डिसाइड करोगे वैसे करेगा. लेकिन जो अगर कोई ऐसा डॉक्टर है, ईगो वाला डॉक्टर है, तो आपसे आर्ग्यू भी करेगा और बोल देगा कि मैं नहीं आपको ट्रीट करूंगा, आप दूसरे डॉक्टर को दिखा लीजिए. ऐसे भी मिलेंगे. तो आपको पहले से ये सारी चीजें डिस्कस करनी है इन द सेकेंड ट्राइमेस्टर. So you have time to decide where you want to deliver. Ideally, you should do the research in the first trimester itself before continuing with any doctor. You have to identify कि ये हॉस्पिटल में जा रहा है, which wherever you're going, find out where there, if there is a high rate of C-section or high rate of normal delivery, how is the facility. Try to get some no data from the past deliveries. When you visit the hospital, check the labor room and who have recently delivered the baby, talk to them, how was their experience. Okay, you can do all these things and you also see the room. It will also help you mentally prepare. Okay, once you decide, check the labor room. Mentally you will be prepared. Okay, this is where I'm going to deliver. You can also select your room. Okay, this is where I'm going to deliver. This is where I can have my bathtub where I can put hot water, or I can have a gym ball. No, you can visualize everything. The more you can be mentally prepared, it will help you reduce your psychological stress. Okay. So apart from the adrenalines and noradrenalines, there is one more chemical that is released is nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is released towards the end of your pregnancy in high amount to help you with the ripening of the cervix along with the relaxin. It is not a hormone, it is a chemical that is released by your body. Where it is released, any idea? It is released from your nasal passages. Okay, that is one the place where you can use to release more nitric oxide. So best way to increase nitric oxide in your body is through Om chanting or the Brahmari sound. Some studies, some data has shown that the chanting of Om and when you extend the mouth sound in Om and when you do Brahmari pranayam, it helps in increasing of the nitric oxide. So that can also help in ripening with the cervix. So Om chanting can be a very useful tool, especially after 36 weeks. If you can chant like maybe 21 times, 3 times a day, or you can chant together 108 times, it would be helpful. Om chanting is also associated of this with the sound of creation. In many scriptures, it is said that there was a sound first at the time of the manifestation of the universe, and there was some research done by the NASA. There is a no the sound that is coming from the in the space by the rotation of the earth, it shares a very similar frequency as Om chanting. Okay, so if you go in YouTube and you listen to that, it will sound like Om when you're listening to that sound, and it shares a similar frequency of Om chanting. So Om chanting in the yogic scripture, it is said to be the sound of creation, and you are in the process of creation. So the more you do Om chanting, it can also help you into the smooth labor. Okay, and there was the one of the student from online TTC batch. She when she was pregnant and when she went through her delivery journey, she had wrote me a feedback that Brahmari pranayam helped her a lot, because whenever she would have contractions, like when she is not pushing, she would do Brahmari pranayam. Hmm. It helped her in two ways. It helped her stay calm mentally, so not induce excess of stress hormones or the endorphins, and also it helped in the labor process by ripening the cervix faster. Okay, so though it was her first pregnancy, her delivery process was very smooth and she delivered quickly.
आप इसका स्टार्टिंग का जो आपने बताया था ये निट्रिक ऑक्साइड के बारे में, एक बार इसको हिंदी में बता दीजिए।
नाइट्रिक ऑक्साइड हमारे बॉडी में रिलीज होता है, और नाइट्रिक ऑक्साइड प्रेगनेंसी के टाइम पे सर्विक्स को राइप करने में, मतलब डायलेट करने में हेल्प करता है। तो जितना नाइट्रिक ऑक्साइड ज्यादा होगा उतना जल्दी डायलेशन होगा, जितना जल्दी डायलेशन होगा उतना जल्दी आप पुशिंग स्टेज में जाएंगे। ओके, so some research has been done by the science ओम चैंटिंग में जो म साउंड है, जब एक्सटेंड करते हैं या तो भ्रमरी प्राणायाम प्रैक्टिस करते हैं, वो नाइट्रिक ऑक्साइड रिलीज करता है। और नाइट्रिक ऑक्साइड का दूसरा भी फंक्शन है हमारे बॉडी में, ब्लड वेसल्स को डायलेट करना, लंग में जो विंड ट्यूब्स है उसको डायलेट करना। तो क्या होगा, आपका ब्रीदिंग बहुत अच्छा होगा और आप स्ट्रेस में हो लेकिन आपका ब्लड प्रेशर नहीं बढ़ेगा लेबर टाइम पे। तो इसीलिए नाइट्रिक ऑक्साइड बढ़ता है, क्योंकि इट हेल्प्स इन डायलेटिंग योर ब्लड वेसल्स। तो आप स्ट्रेस हॉर्मोन्स बढ़ने पे हार्ट रेट और सब बढ़ जाता है। हार्ट रेट बढ़ता है तो क्या होगा कि अगर ब्लड वेसल्स डायलेट नहीं होते हैं, कि प्रोजेस्टेरॉन नीचे चला गया, ठीक है, प्रोजेस्टेरॉन नीचे चला गया, तो ब्लड वेसल्स भी नॉर्मल साइज में आते जाएंगे। अगर नाइट्रिक ऑक्साइड नहीं है तो ब्लड प्रेशर बढ़ जाएगा और बेबी को भी अफेक्ट होगा। तो उस वजह से नाइट्रिक ऑक्साइड प्रेगनेंसी लेबर के टाइम पे टुवर्ड्स द एंड इट स्टार्ट्स रिलीजिंग हायर। तो बहुत सारी चीजें करता है। पहले तो आपका ब्लड वेसल्स को डायलेट करता है, आपके लंग्स के ट्यूब्स को डायलेट करता है, और सर्विक्स को राइप करने में हेल्प करता है रिलैक्सिन के साथ में। तो आपका जो लेबर है वो स्मूथ होगा। Okay, and a best way to increase this level is by chanting Om and Brahmari Pranayam.
Ma'am, so this nitric oxide, this chemical is released only during the labor period. I mean, the final stages of pregnancy, right? Even if you chant Om or do Brahmani in the initial stages, it doesn't.
No, if that's why we do not want to do too many Om chanting up to 36 weeks. You can do up to 21 times, because it is a hormone, it is a sound of creation. So it can also, if it is increasing in towards the end, it can increase in the beginning also, and that we do not want. So you can do up to 21 times chanting, that is more than enough up to 36 weeks. After 36 weeks only, we will increase the chanting. So one of the practice I mentioned for the labor is the baby connection. Okay, baby connection practices are very important, whether in the form of meditation or you do just by talking to your baby on a daily basis. Okay, it is very important. Second practice we discuss is Om chanting or the Brahmari Pranayam. If there is a religion issues, some people may not chant Om. Then in that case, you can do Brahmari Pranayam. Okay. The third practice is the Apan Mudra. All of you learn the Apan Mudra. Okay, that is the mudra to help you with the labor. So after you complete 35, 36 weeks, depending on one's condition, you can start. You can actually start after 35 weeks and gradually increasing the time of holding the mudra. But then if there were any complications or there are any signs of premature delivery or birth, then you would not do before 36 weeks. You will let 36 weeks complete and then only start. Okay. What all other asana practices were we did for the labor?
The Malasana?
Please. Malasana.
Yes. Malasana, yes. And
Kaliyasana.
Kalyasana.
Malasana, Kalyasana. Malasana itself may not induce the labor, but you may have to do the duck walking. Okay, duck walking is a preparation. Malasana, anyways, you're doing. Then Kalyasana, squats or the pulsation, especially using the gym ball. You can do active as well as supported. You can do active without sitting on a gym ball, and you can also do the pulsation sitting on a gym ball. Then
Happy baby pose.
happy baby pose will not be very comfortable because you are on your back. Okay. So you may hold for 5-7 breaths, but then it cannot be a labor preparation exercise. It opens
The,
up your pelvis unless you incline yourself to 20-25 degrees. Then you can stay on your back for some time. But the problem is the blood circulation is not towards your pelvis. It is redirected. Okay.
But
Yes, Gaya.
some women do give birth on squat position,
Yes.
like
Giving
being
birth
helped by
position.
the partner or being helped by a midwife that is holding the back under the arms. Like I think it's something possible. If they
You
want to
can,
give birth
you will
vertically.
see the positions which one you use for the birth, but the labor preparation positions may not be the same as you would give birth. Okay. Preparation, we want more blood circulation towards your pelvis. When you give birth in upright position, it is the ideal position because the gravity helps in delivering the baby. If you are on your back, gravity doesn't help. Movement is important, so you step climbing is one of the greatest practice for the labor preparation, because when you're climbing and climbing up and down the stairs, your hips are moving up and down. That uneven movement of the hips helps pushing the baby down. So if you want to induce labor or if you want to prepare for the labor, you can climb steps up and down with care, with care. Okay, because you will be carrying heavy weight, but it is one of the greatest labor preparation exercise. The squats with the toes out and toes in combined together, it can also help with the labor preparation. You need more dynamic movement to help move the baby. If you sleep on your back, baby will get stagnant. If you're moving, your baby will be also able to move down faster. Okay, whenever you lie down, the baby rests. Baby also stops moving. But when you are moving, baby also gets some space and different positions to move. Okay, you can use warrior lunges, warrior two lunges, or the warrior one lunges also as a labor preparation. Yes, Gaya.
Like, do you think that intuitively I will think about doing some round with the pelvis on the ball? Like,
Yes,
it's
gym
not like
ball.
a really strong exercise, but still I feel it could stimulate like doing rounds hips, you know?
Yes, yes, gym ball. You use gym ball, it will be very beneficial.
Nisha, do you really recommend I always think that this idea a bit strong and not aggressive, but a bit strong, like the lifting heavy weights. I don't really know
No,
or
no,
imagine.
lifting heavy weight is not ideal because it can even give you back pain. Okay.
So, ma'am, can we take the birth ball to the hospital?
Yes, yes. I had got for my sister.
Okay.
She was asked to lie down on the back, and she had so much of pain. And then because it happened in the night, they hadn't got the ball with them. Then I asked my brother-in-law to get it, and then even though she was attached to the all this things, injections and syringe and everything, I asked her to sit on a gym ball and keep the hand there. So even if she is not moving around, she is sitting upright, and then she's sitting. Then she can do like pelvic rotation, or she can bounce there and that there itself. And then when she wants to take a break, they will take the lube off, and then she would walk around the hospital and then she would go to toilet and she would come back. So it's, you will have, like, if you decide a right place, they will also let you walk around, but you have to tell, because not many women, if there are, like, because they are not educated, once the nurse would say lie down, they will just inject and then the lady would be lying down. It is all about the education, and you have to speak to the doctor. Doctor already knew that I'm into yoga and I teach pregnant women and uh, all these things. So she knew that I would take care of it. So she was not involved into that. Okay. Yes, Gaya.
Like, would you recommend doing the pranayama? I don't remember the name. The last one we saw yesterday, which is the contraction of the pelvic and relax, like to do like like this.
Ashwini Mudra, yes.
Yeah, Advani Mudra. Yeah, the mudra. Like, would
Yes.
you recommend to do it like actively, like kind of
Yes,
to
you
pump
can do that.
them?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But in pranayama, like there is nothing else, like in mudra or pranayama, you gave us one, but there is no other.
Ashwini Mudra you can do for labor. Ashwini Mudra you can do throughout the pregnancy, no problem. But when you are in labor, if you do that, it will help relax the muscles. Okay. And also increase the blood flow towards your pelvis when you're doing. Pranayama, as I said, Brahmari, and then we will see the some breathing that you can do for during the labor. Okay, so these are some exercises that you can use as a labor preparation exercise. You can either start after 35 weeks or 36 weeks, depending on one's condition. And you can gradually increase the number of repetitions as one is coming close to the due date. Okay, and you can give them some labor preparation exercises at home. Okay, tell them, okay, you have to do the baby connection meditation. You have to do this like 15 squats or 20 squats or 30 squats at home. Okay, so apart from whatever you give in the class, you give them some practices they should do. If they're practicing with you in the evening, they should do in the morning. If they're practicing with you in the morning, they should do in the evening. Okay, yes, Priya, Krishna.
Upavist Konasana is okay.
Yeah, you can do Vishnu Konasana, but it cannot be a labor preparation. You do in a normal asana class. Labor preparation is more like a dynamic movement where you are moving your pelvis, so it helps pushing the baby downward.
Ma'am, butterfly also?
Yes, butterfly also you can do. These are all normal practices that you would be doing in the class. I'm just emphasizing on the practices that is specifically you can give as labor preparation.
Does Virasana help?
Virasana will help relax the lower pelvic muscles. But as I said, they cannot lead to inducing the labor. The exercise we are discussing, they can help induce the labor. Okay, this Batkonasan, Uppishtakonasan, or Virasana help relax the muscles. Okay, they don't induce the labor, but the exercise you would do, the squats or the Kali asana, sitting on a gym ball or doing without the gym ball, or duck walking or lunges, can help induce the labor. Even walking can help, walking or climbing up and down can help induce the labor. So that's why I'm calling them as labor preparation exercise, because that can lead to inducing the labor. Okay.
Yeah. Ma'am, I had slipped like before pregnancy. I had slipped and I had hurt my tailbone, and again, like after a few years, I slipped, and then it was a minor fracture in the tailbone. So that I have told to the doctor. So they said that yeah, they'll take care of that during delivery. But what care should I take in exercises and labor preparation while doing that?
See, I cannot say right now because that minor fracture may heal by now.
Yeah. So it's not
Okay.
paining right now, but if I sit
But
continuously.
then yes,
Yeah.
you will have to wait until the baby. So depending on the baby's position,
Position.
you might feel pain and you might not feel the pain.
Okay.
Okay. If you feel pain, then you may not be able to sit down because the tailbone pain. Okay. Then in that case, you may have to avoid those positions, those postures. You may sit on a gym ball if it feels comfortable. Otherwise, you may have to do the dynamic movement without sitting down. Okay. You will have to find a sweet spot or posture for you that helps release that pain. But then we'll be able to decide that only when the time comes.
Right, right.
Okay, because it all depends on the baby's position.
Position.
Okay. Yes, Gaya.
Maybe I have missed this part, but I don't understand why the Brahmari Pranayama helps actually.
Why it will help? Okay, we will discuss.
In the labor?
Who remembers? Why would Brahmari Pranayama helps?
I just think about the relaxation, but is it all? Is that all?
Millie?
It helps increasing nitric oxide, which helps in ripening the cervix. So nitric oxide is released in your nasal passages. So once we do Brahmari pranayam, that it'll stimulate that secretion.
Yes. What were the other functions of the nitric oxides also?
Ripening the cervix.
Ripening the cervix and?
It dilates the blood vessels.
Dilate the blood vessels and dilate the
lung
your
pipe.
bronchioles. Okay. So it helps in breathing well. It helps in maintaining your blood pressure, and also it helps in ripening your cervix. Okay. Okay, so now we are going to move to the different stages of the labor. So before we do that, we can take a 5 minutes break and come back. Okay, so you can take a 5 minutes break and come back.
Shall we start?
Ma'am,
Yes.
just one. Ma'am, all about what we discussed right now, it is mentioned in the PDF or no?
Not
That
in the manual, but I think I've given a separate document.
okay. And yesterday also we learned about the mudras and all.
No, it is not there. Some things are just practice.
Okay.
So
Can we have that if possible?
no, we have given the maximum content. Some things you need to write from your own understanding. 80% of the content we are teaching is there in the documents, and only 20% is there that you can write it down.
Okay. So mudra is not there in the document, right?
Yeah, because some things are just practice. Mudras are just practice. Even we give in writing, without you practicing, you will not understand the benefits.
No, understood about the practice. Just the thing we if the pictures are there, so we come to know easily like which mudra is that. So yeah.
I'll check with Dipali if she has any document where she has the pictures of the mudras that she can share in the group.
Okay.
If
Yes.
she has the document, she will share it. No problem.
All right. Thank you so much.
So we are going to discuss the different stages of labor. First stage, second stage, and the third stage. Okay. The first stage of labor has three different phases: the early phase, active phase, and transition phase. Okay, the first stage of labor is associated with the dilation of cervix. To 10 centimeter. The second stage of the labor is associated with the delivery of a baby. And the third stage of labor is associated with the delivery of placenta. Okay, so in early phase of labor, your cervix will dilate to 3 centimeter. In active phase, it will dilate to 7 centimeter. From 4 centimeter, it will go to 7 centimeter. And the transition phase is from 8 centimeter, which will reach to 10 centimeter. So how would you differentiate between the early phase, active phase, and the transition phase? There are ways to differentiate. First is the cervix dilation. So there will be a physical examination, like as you are close to your due date, you may be visiting the doctor every alternate days. Okay. And as you're coming close, like you may even complete your due date and then still labor is not induced, then doctor may ask you to visit every day. Yes. Is what happened? Somebody said something? Okay. Yes, Kia.
Nisha, do you have your mic activated?
Okay, can you hear me now? So the early phase of labor, how you differentiate is from the cervix dilation, and there is a physical examination. When you are close to your due date, every alternate days you'll be visiting the doctor, and doctor physically examines if there is any dilation to the cervix or not. Depending on that, they will find out if you are into early, active, or transition phase. Apart from that, then there is contractions. There is a difference in the contractions in each phase. So when you are into like when you enter into the early phase labor, the contractions follow irregular pattern initially. Okay. Then they become regular. Initially, they may feel like a menstrual cramps. They're more like menstrual cramp, and then intensity would build up. Here, what you're going to look for, you're going to look for if your contractions are now following the regular pattern. If the contractions from irregular, they are becoming regular and more intense, then that is a sign you are in early phase. And the contractions may repeat between 5 minutes, 5 to 30 minutes. Just a second.
मैम एक बार हिंदी में भी बता दीजिएगा.
पूजा एक बार कंप्लीट करने के बाद I'll explain in Hindi. What you're going to look for is intensity will increase gradually and the contractions will become following the regular pattern. So if earlier they may come now and then they may not come for 1 hour, 2 hours, then you will see they are becoming closer and more following more regularity. So they may start repeating every 30 minutes. Then from 30 minutes, they become 15 minutes, they become 10 minutes, they become 5 minutes. Okay. So when you are close to 5 minutes, that is the time you should go to the hospital. You should not panic and rush to the hospital when your contractions are still far apart, because this early labor phase can last from 8 to 12 hours. Okay, so once your contractions are 5 to 6 minutes apart, you can reach out to the hospital. अर्ली फेज में क्या देखेंगे? अर्ली फेज में सर्विक्स डायलेट होता है 3 सेंटीमीटर तक. उसके बाद डॉक्टर जब फिजिकली एग्जामिन करता है तो पता चल जाता है कि आप अर्ली फेज लेबर में हो, अगर सर्विक्स 1, 2 या 3 सेंटीमीटर डायलेट हुआ है. उसके बाद कॉन्ट्रैक्शंस है. कॉन्ट्रैक्शंस पहले इरेग्युलर होंगे, कभी 45 मिनट्स में आएंगे, कभी 30 मिनट्स में. इट इज अ साइन कि आप अर्ली फेज में जाने वाले हो. उसके बाद वो स्लोली स्लोली रेगुलर पैटर्न फॉलो करेगा. वो क्रैम्प्स, मेंस्ट्रुअल क्रैम्प्स की तरह होते हैं कॉन्ट्रैक्शंस, और धीरे धीरे स्ट्रॉन्ग होते जाते हैं, और उसका इंटेंसिटी धीरे धीरे स्ट्रॉन्ग होता जाएगा. वो मेंस्ट्रुअल पेन से ज्यादा पेनफुल होगा जब आप एडवांस स्टेजेस में पहुंचोगे. अर्ली फेज में वो मेंस्ट्रुअल क्रैम्प्स जितने ही होते हैं. कॉन्ट्रैक्शंस 5 to 30 मिनट्स अपार्ट होते हैं, और जैसे जैसे आप मतलब एडवांस जा रहे हो, जैसे 2 सेंटीमीटर डायलेट हो गया, 3 सेंटीमीटर डायलेट हो गया, तब कॉन्ट्रैक्शंस नजदीक आते जाएंगे. 5-6 मिनट में अगर कॉन्ट्रैक्शंस रिपीट हो रहे हैं, दैट इज द टाइम यू शुड गो टू द हॉस्पिटल. उससे पहले हॉस्पिटल नहीं जाना है. अगर आपका अर्ली फेज दिन के टाइम पे शुरू हुआ है, इफ इट हैज स्टार्टेड ड्यूरिंग द डे, continue to do your normal housework or whatever activity you do. Continue do that. Eat light, keep yourself hydrated. Okay, and if it starts in the night, try to get some sleep, because the next day can be a long and stressful day. So whenever it has started, you first try to continue and distract yourself with the normal routine and not get distracted with the pain that you are experiencing. Many women may not feel the early phase contractions because they might be mild, like just like many women do not experience menstrual cramp, but there are cramps happening inside the uterus in order to shed the lining. Okay, so there are internal cramps there, but you are not feeling more at outer side because they are subtle. Okay, so for some women, the early phase, especially in the second and third pregnancy, the early phase could be subtle and they may not experience the cramps or the, and then they go to the hospital and doctor will say, oh, you are 3 to 4 centimeter dilated. So that is also possible that they may not experience any kind of contractions on the surface. Okay, is that clear? The contraction intensity here is 30 to 45 seconds. One contraction can last for 30 to 45 seconds.
जैसे जैसे डायलेशन बढ़ती जाएगी वैसे वैसे हम उस डिलीवरी के क्लोज आएंगे.
Yes. डिलीवरी के क्लोज नहीं आएंगे, नेक्स्ट फेज में जाएंगे. पहले तो अर्ली फेज से आप 3 सेंटीमीटर हो गया है, तो आप अर्ली फेज से एक्टिव फेज में ट्रांजिशन करेंगे. एक्टिव फेज से बाद में ट्रांजिशन फेज में, उसके बाद आप डिलीवरी की तरफ जाएंगे. डिलीवरी करने के लिए 10 सेंटीमीटर डायलेशन होना जरूरी है. In the active phase, contractions are stronger and the cervix will dilate to 7 centimeter. They follow more of the regular pattern. The intensity of the contraction can be 45 seconds to 16 seconds. They repeat between 3 to 5 minutes. And you may be in the active phase for 3 to 5 hours. Okay, so that's why your contractions become like 5 minutes apart, 5 to 6 minutes apart. Then you can go to the hospital. You don't have to rush to the hospital. If your hospital is like too far, 2 to 3 hours apart, then you may start when your contractions are like 10 minutes apart, especially if you are in your second or third pregnancy. Okay, otherwise you don't have to rush. In active phase, you need to be in the hospital. Unless and until your water is broken, you don't have to rush to the hospital in the early phase. Early phase, there is only one reason why you would go to hospital in early phase: if your water is broken. अर्ली फेज में अगर वाटर ब्रेक हो गया है तभी आप हॉस्पिटल जाएंगे, वरना हॉस्पिटल जाने की जरूरत नहीं है. एक्टिव फेज इज द वन व्हेन यू विल गो टू द हॉस्पिटल. Okay, the transition phase is the most difficult one, but it is also the shorter. The contractions are sometimes overlapping. They have the intensity of 60 to 90 seconds and sometimes overlapping contraction. Okay, they may repeat between 30 seconds to 2 minutes, and the amount of time you may spend here is 30 minutes to 2 hours. If it is a second or third delivery, understand that the dilation will be faster. You may spend only maybe 25, 30 minutes only in this phase. And most doctors do not even wait in the transition phase, because the cervix is dilated 8 centimeter. They immediately go for episiotomy here.
Why first or third? Like, why not second?
Sorry?
Why first or third? Oh, sorry. Why first or third pregnancy? I didn't understand.
Why first? I didn't get your question.
Huh?
I didn't get your question there.
Ah, okay. I will repeat it. Like you said, like in the first or third pregnancy, this is what you said, but I don't understand why not in the second. Like, does this?
I said second, no, second or third pregnancy, your delivery is faster compared to the first one. Okay, in second or third pregnancy, your delivery tends to be faster than compared to first. That's what I say.
Ah, okay. So third, you didn't mention third.
मैम ये एपीसी क्या है, ये एपिसिटोमी हार्मोन क्यों देते हैं वो 8 mm होने पर?
हार्मोन नहीं है बाबा, वो एपिसियोटोमी सर्जरी है जो कट देते हैं वजाइना से ऊपर. ठीक है, अभी आजकल सारे डॉक्टर्स का ये ब्लाइंड प्रोटोकॉल हो गया है टू गिव अ कट, because they don't want women to be there in the transition phase because it is very painful. Nowadays women have so much of fear to go through normal delivery, so those who are opting for normal delivery having fear of pain, Okay, and when they have fear of pain, doctors, what they do is they can take the pain till active phase, and then labor, the transition phase is a phase which where the contractions are overlapping and very strong. So you may not get rest even between two contractions, so you are under so much of pain, and mentally if you are not calm, then endorphin will not be released enough. Okay, if you stay mentally calm, then the transition phase can be lasting only 30 minutes. But if you're not mentally calm, then here it's 2 hours, but it can extend even longer. Okay, so in that case, doctors, what they do is they use the easy technique, they cut the tissue. So the opening is made 10 centimeter. Okay, so if you take a paper and put a cut, and then when the baby is coming through, okay, when the baby is coming through and you have the cut, what will happen? The baby is going to push more and the tissues will tear more. So that's where the perineal tears happen, the first, second, third degree. Usually with episiotomy, it leads to second, third, or fourth degree of perineal tear. But if you just go through the transition phase naturally, then your cervix will be dilated 10 centimeter fully. Then when the baby is pushing, your muscles have elasticity to open further and help the baby delivery if you stay calm. But if you do not stay calm, like if you are calm but then little bit stress in the muscles, because when you stress, your muscles contract. So even if you went under a little bit stress, then it may lead to only first degree of tear, but not second, third, or fourth degree, which is like a deeper tear. Okay, so only the superficial tear would be there and it will heal within a 2 days. But second degree will take little longer, third degree will take even longer, fourth degree will take even longer. Because the more the degrees, the more you are going, the tear is deeper inside the muscles. Okay, so episiotomy is done to open the mouth of the cervix fully, because most doctors are not completing the transition phase naturally. Okay, so that is another blind protocol is taken by most doctors. So you should ask, unless and until the in the pushing stage, if the baby is not coming out, like what had happened in my sister's case, as I had mentioned earlier also, she was given a tablet to thicken the cervix because she had the spotting in the second trimester. So she was on medication for long and the cervix was very thick. So she was experiencing a lot of contractions. The contraction intensity was high, but still the dilation was very slow. Even after giving the medication to dilate the cervix, still her dilation was slow. And then she was doing some exercising and she was saying we made her stay calm and relaxed. She was not relaxed, of course she was going through a lot of pain, but we tried our best. We put the hot water back to massage her, reduce pain, and she would sit on a gym ball. So whatever she could do, she did. And then her cervix was 8 centimeter dilated. Understand the transition phase, if you try to push, the intensity of the contraction will not be same as the pushing stage. So she was taken into the labor room when her cervix was 8 centimeter dilated, and then she was asked to push. Then understand there is a difference in a pushing stage contraction and there is a difference in the transition phase contractions, and you get time to breathe in a pushing stage. Here in transition phase you do not have even gap between two contractions. Okay, so you do not get the rest while you're pushing, so you're going to exert. So what happened with my sister, she exerted herself while pushing. So her baby was pulled out through the vacuum. And to insert the vacuum, doctor have to do the episiotomy because there was no 10 centimeter opening. Okay, so understand that, because with my sister, she was not in a state to wait further. If we would have told her that you have to wait until your cervix will be dilated 10 centimeter, because she had given up many times and she wanted to go for C-section. So it was okay for her if the doctor did this, because she was experiencing a lot of pain and she was not able to stay calm mentally. And she wanted to give up many times. So for her, it's okay that whatever happened, happened. And at least we tried our best to go for normal delivery with little extra support. Okay. So understand that if it is really important or not. But if she had been calm, I'm sure doctor would have not blindly put a cut, because doctor put a cut only when it required. Okay, and doctor would have waited also until she was fully dilated, but because she was not able to bear the pain, she was taken into the room. So doctor was not wrong in her own part, because we were forcing the doctor to go for normal delivery. So she was also trying her best to do the normal delivery. Even while she told doctor, I want to go for C-section, doctor said no. You are 4 centimeter dilated, 5 centimeter dilated, wait for 1 more hour. And if it is not dilated further, we go for C-section. Like that, she also made her wait. Okay, but for her, hot water bag really helped her to release the pain. So you need to understand that whatever things are happening, if it is needed or not needed, you decide at that point. Okay, so episiotomy is needed, then you can go for it. It will heal. Okay, but we want to minimize the chances of all these unnecessary surgeries or stitches. Okay, we can try going as natural as possible.
Ma'am, the cut will heal naturally, or we need
No,
to
they
stitch
will
it?
take a stitch.
Okay.
And when they are taking stitch, they should not take the husband stitch. In some countries, some doctor practice this, they take husband stitch. Husband stitch means that is one extra stitch, so the husband cannot penetrate inside. Okay, and that stitch, after the stitches have healed, that stitch would also heal, but then every time they would do any kind of sexual intercourse, it will be very painful. Okay, so in some countries they follow this, so you should be aware about this. In India, I think they are not following this, but then some countries are following this kind of systems, because they want to prevent any penetration before the stitches have healed. So they take one extra stitch for that reason, but then it can give pain for a long term.
So what is the other stitch called? Not
It
husband
is
stitch.
normal stitch. They will say the perineal stitch only. Okay. Okay, this is the third transition phase. And the second stage of labor is comparatively better than the transition phase. The contractions might be 45 seconds to 60 seconds. Okay, the phase may last for 10 minutes to 2 hours, depending on first, second, or third delivery. Some can be as quick as 10 minutes. Okay, if this dilation has happened properly, 10 centimeter, then the delivery can happen within 20 to 25 minutes, even if it is a first pregnancy. It can happen even within 10 minutes. Okay, And you will have around 2 minutes so here your contractions are not overlapping. You may have 2 to 4 5 minutes between the contractions. And we also call this as a pushing stage. The support person is really needed during the active phase, transition phase, and the pushing stage. Always remember, as a support person, you should not be like a yoga teacher instructing, oh, inhale deeply, exhale through the mouth. Then they will throw everything, whatever is there in their hand. You have to do with them. Inhale. Rather than talking more, show more. Okay. And create an environment of silence around it. Keep the lights dim. Keep the all the negative stimulation away from the room. So noise, loud music. You can put mantras or some soothing music if she feels good. Otherwise, you can avoid. You can use aromas or essential oils if that is calming for that lady. Or you can chant Om, or you can play audio of Om chanting if that helps. Okay. And do not do small talks. Do not crack jokes. This is not a time to crack jokes and make her feel better. She will not feel good. She will feel worse. If you try to do that, she will feel more irritated. If she is shouting or crying, this is all natural. You don't have to take anything personally if she said anything during that phase. Okay, she doesn't really mean it. And the support person should be somebody who she's the most comfortable with. As a yoga teacher nowadays, many people are calling their yoga teachers or the childbirth educator or the midwives to accompany their labor and the complete journey. And apart from you, if the person who is going to be there, if two people are allowed, then now the other person has to be also similar, who is mentally very calm. Okay, it could be the husband, it could be the mother, anybody who can be calm. Okay, sometimes some women get more irritated looking at their husbands, so keep their husbands away because it will make them more irritated. Some women feel irritated with some family members, so keep that family member away. Okay, don't have to accompany at that time, but don't have a social gathering in the labor room. Okay, it will be very annoying for a pregnant woman. So in pushing stage, she may experience few sensation when the crowning is happening, is burning, tingling, okay, itching, and sometimes she may also pee, poop. All these things may also happen. Sometimes vomit also. So it's very important to have the empty bladder, and also even if you empty bladder, it is possible that you may pass a urine. That is very normal. But in order to prevent pooping, ensure that you can take castor oil. You can start taking castor oil few days before your due date. Okay, every night before you go to sleep, you can consume castor oil, so you have proper bowel movement and there is no constipation. Because while you're pushing, and if there is a constipation, it can also lead to some tearing of the tissue and hemorrhoids while you're pushing.
They'll give edema, right? Before the delivery?
Not all doctors practice the same. Okay, because in some cases, enema for some can lead to diarrhea. So some doctors may practice, some doctors do not practice. In my sister's case, there was no enema, but she was taking castor oil since past few weeks actually. She was taking castor oil, I think 2 to 3 weeks before. And some of my clients, their doctors just tell them that your due date is coming. Now you can start taking castor oil. So they start taking castor oil 1 spoon every night. Just few days before the delivery.
And how much they will take? Like how much they will drink?
Sorry?
Castor oil? Yeah.
Castor oil what?
Like I'm just asking like the quantity.
1 spoon, 1 spoon.
Okay.
And to
Every
be
day.
specific, you can check with the Ayurveda doctor who will be coming.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
But did you also say that it's good to lubricate the vagina
Yes.
also with it? Okay.
Yes, you lubricate the vagina with the castor oil, also massage the nipples with the castor oil. This all should start like around 35, 36 weeks.
Every day.
Yeah, massaging and putting castor oil in the vagina and massaging the nipple should start from around 35 weeks onwards if everything is okay. Otherwise, after 36 weeks. Drinking castor oil, you can start like few days before, or in some cases, they also ask you to drink ghee. Ghee also works as a laxative. So either castor oil or ghee. My sister was consuming castor oil. And most doctor recommend castor oil. So go for castor oil. But some people do not like the smell or the taste of the castor oil, then you can go with the ghee. If when the crowning is happening, if you give a woman a mirror in the front, then it can help as encouragement tool. When she would see the crowning, the head is coming out, she'll be encouraged to push more, and then baby will be out within a minute. Okay, so that can help if you are going to help a woman to deliver a baby. And the third stage of third stage of labor is the delivery of placenta that will happen within 5 minutes to 1 hour. Naturally, if you're going to wait natural delivery of placenta, then it can happen within 5 minutes to 1 hour. Okay, but most doctors now again there is a blind protocol. They give injection of syntocinon, which is like another induction of the contraction. So it will induce the next contraction, and the placenta can be delivered within 5 minutes. Because doctors do not want to wait till 1 hour in the hope of when the placenta will be delivered, so they just give injection, and they will after giving injection within few seconds they will pull the placenta out. When they see the contraction is coming, with the contraction they will just they will start pulling the umbilical cord and then pull the placenta out.
मैम एक बार हिंदी में बता दीजिए इसको।
थर्ड स्टेज जो डिलीवरी का है उसमें प्लासेंटा बाहर आता है, नेचुरली डिलीवर करने जाएंगे तो 5 मिनट से 1 घंटा लगता है, लेकिन अभी डॉक्टर्स को 1 घंटा टाइम वेस्ट नहीं करना होता है, तो एक जैसे ऑक्सीटोसिन है वैसे ऑक्सीटोसिन का छोटा वर्जन इंजेक्शन देते हैं ताकि एक माइल्ड कॉन्ट्रैक्शन इमीडिएटली आए और प्लासेंटा डिलीवर हो जाए। तो जब कॉन्ट्रैक्शन आता है तो डॉक्टर सीधा पुल कर लेता है प्लासेंटा बाहर, तो अभी ये प्रैक्टिस चलता है, तो within 2 to 5 minutes the placenta will also be delivered. Okay, तो
ये जो ऐसे करते हैं सडनली, वो नॉर्मल नहीं है और ऐसे करते हैं, तो उससे कुछ हार्मफुल नहीं होता है वो?
see, when you are inducing with oxytocin or injecting, these things are not as harmful as epidurals. So even if you're inducing, but why you want to induce when you are inducing, that means you're forcing your baby to come out. Okay, you're stopping your body's natural process, and you are also deciding for your baby that now baby should come out. Let the baby decide when the baby wants to come out. Okay, and then the baby will be born healthiest. When the baby is ready to come out, that means all the organs and everything is mature enough to live independent life. Okay, and secondly, the placenta, naturally your placenta will come out because the next contraction would come immediately in order to prevent excess blood loss. But sometimes if somebody who had a long labor, in that case it could take even 1 hour. So for that reason, doctors just take the blind protocol to induce the labor. But if the baby is out, because most hospitals do not even give the baby immediately to the mother, they will just take the baby out and give it to the nurse. Okay, mother doesn't even see the baby. But in earlier times, this was not the case. When the baby is out, baby first goes to the mother's chest. Okay, and then you stroke the baby, you connect with the baby. Again, oxytocin will be released. And then next contraction comes immediately, and the placenta will be delivered immediately. But nowadays, doctor just give away the baby. So the oxytocin will get confused whether I need to stay high or need to drop. Okay, because there is no presence of the baby. Okay, if the baby is present, then body knows that I need to feed the baby, so oxytocin levels will rise up. And when the oxytocin level post delivery rise up, that is first in order to breastfeed the baby. Secondly, the side effect of the high level of oxytocin is again inducing the contraction in order to prevent the excess blood loss. Okay, so it will contract and close the cervix. So the blood loss will not happen. So there are many cases you will hear that while delivering, mother passed away. Okay, why the mother would pass away? Because the mother may pass away because of the excess blood loss. Okay, excess blood loss can happen when you have low level of oxytocin. When you have low level of oxytocin, the next contraction is important in order to stop the bleeding or reduce the bleeding. It will not stop, but it will prevent the excess blood loss. So it is very important. As soon as the baby is born, it is very important. First thing to do is keep the baby to the chest. For the baby's well-being, because baby's stress levels were high while the baby was being pushed out of the uterus. So baby stress levels were high and baby need to feel safe. So when you bring the baby to the chest, baby hears the mother's heart rate and touches the body. So baby feels the same warmth and the same heart rate. So baby stress levels start going down. So baby's heart rate and everything will go down. And still you are not clamping the umbilical cord. You should wait up to 5 minutes in order to cut the umbilical cord. But most doctors, what they do? Immediately cut the cord. So the supply is still there from the placenta and still you're with the mother. So baby feels self and protected. That is very important in order to develop a long-term psychology for the baby. Secondly, the moment you keep the baby here, the mother's body would know that I need to feed this baby. When mother knows I need to feed this baby, her oxytocin levels will rise up. When the oxytocin level rise up, it will help in preventing of the excess blood loss, and the next contraction that would come, it will help taking the placenta out. ओके, बेबी को पहले तो स्ट्रेस कम करना है, तो बेबी को चेस्ट पे रखना है। चेस्ट पे रखने के बाद ऐसे स्ट्रोक किया तो बेबी हार्ट रेट सुनेगा, मदर का बॉडी टेम्परेचर उसको टच होगा, तो बेबी प्रोटेक्ट फील करेगा। सेकेंडली, जब बेबी को टच करते हैं मदर के बॉडी पे, तो मदर का बॉडी फील करता है कि मुझे ये बेबी को फीड करना है। वो फीलिंग की वजह से क्या होगा, ऑक्सीटोसिन लेवल बढ़ेगा। ऑक्सीटोसिन लेवल जैसे बढ़ेगा वैसे ही नेक्स्ट कॉन्ट्रेक्शन आएगा, प्लासेंटा बाहर आएगा। एंड जैसे प्लासेंटा आएगा उसके बाद जो कॉन्ट्रेक्शंस आएंगे, वो कॉन्ट्रेक्शंस आएंगे सर्विक्स क्लोज करने के लिए। सर्विक्स धीरे धीरे क्लोज होना शुरू होगा तो ब्लीडिंग धीरे धीरे कम होगा। लेकिन अगर ऑक्सीटोसिन लेवल्स लो रहते हैं तो सर्विक्स क्लोज नहीं होता है और ज्यादा ब्लड लॉस हो जाता है, तो वो हेमरेज कंडीशन में रिजल्ट होता है। बहुत सारे केसेस में मदर का डेथ हो जाता है व्हेन शी इज लूजिंग लॉट ऑफ ब्लड व्हाइल डिलीवरिंग द बेबी।
मैम ये डॉक्टर की लापरवाही होती है फिर तो?
हाँ, तो डॉक्टर की लापरवाही से ही होता है ये सब चीजें। डॉक्टर की लापरवाही, एंड वी consider doctors to be as god. We trust them blindly. We don't ask them questions. That is our stupidity. Okay, because we are ignorant, we are not educated, we don't ask questions. And if the doctor says this is that, you just accept it. Okay, because you think the doctor knows everything, but that is not true. Doctors also are humans. As we make mistakes, they also can make mistakes, but their mistake can cost somebody's life.
मैम जैसे मैंने यहाँ पर देखा है, जो यहाँ पर गायना है, जैसे मुझे कभी कुछ ऐसा कुछ प्रॉब्लम हुआ है तो मैं गायना के पास गई हूँ, तो मैं 2-3 गायना मैंने देखी है, उनका जो नेचर है वो बहुत चिड़चिड़ी सी है, अजीब सी। उनसे कुछ पूछो तो कि मुझे कैसे हुआ, तो वो सीधे बोलते हैं कि तुमको समझ नहीं आएंगी मेडिकल लैंग्वेज, मैं कहाँ तक तुमको समझाऊंगी। तो मुझे इतना अजीब लगता है कि ये गायना है और ये इस तरह से बात करती हैं, तो ढंग से
इसीलिए हमें पहले एजुकेशन होना चाहिए। जैसे मैं मेरी सिस्टर के केस में नर्स को पूछ रही थी कि आई वॉज यूजिंग मेडिकल टर्म, तो मुझे 2 मिनट देखने लगे कि ये सारे मेडिकल टर्म्स मैं कैसे यूज कर रही हूँ। बाद में उनको लगा कि मैं ये फील्ड में हूँ, तब जा, क्योंकि मैंने 2-3 वर्ड्स ऐसे उनको पूछे, वो यूज किए, तो उनको लगा कि मुझे थोड़ा नॉलेज है। तब उन्होंने बताया कि ये इंजेक्शन ये है, इनका सर्विक्स डायलेट नहीं हो पा रहा है। और मुझे बोल रहे थे कि इन्होंने बहुत एक्सरसाइज किया है क्या पहले, क्योंकि सर्विक्स बहुत थिक है। मैंने बोला एक्सरसाइज बहुत नहीं किया है, मुझे पता था वो जो मेडिकेशन डॉक्टर ने दिया था वो लॉन्ग टर्म तक कंटिन्यू किया, उस वजह से हुआ था, लेकिन मैंने वहां पे वैसा कुछ बताया नहीं। लेकिन यू हैव टू आस्क क्वेश्चन इन अ वे इन देयर लैंग्वेज। अगर आपको मेडिकल टर्म नहीं पता है, but that is their problem. Okay, it is not your problem. A common man would not know medical terms. They have the duty to tell you at your level कि आपको ये चीज किस वजह से हो रही है. That is their duty, they should tell you. But most doctors do not want to tell you this. Okay, because they don't want to spend so much of time on you because they have a big queue. Okay, so they just do not want to give you more than 5 to 10 minutes, and then so they can see more patients. If they give you more time, then they can see less patients, less income. So it's more commercialized, more business. So that's why you have to check with a doctor, which is know who is going to explain you things. Okay. Yes, Krishna.
Ma'am, I heard mostly doctors have said कि your baby weight is very high and you cannot deliver normally. You deliver C-section only. Then what we should do?
So there was this midwife whose baby was 4.5 kilos. She had come for the residential training in Bangalore, and she is based in Coimbatore, and she had done Pilate prenatal training before her pregnancy because she was pregnant. She wanted to prepare for her own pregnancy, and her baby was 4.5 kilos by the time she was due. And doctor said you will not be able to deliver normally. It will be very long labor. So you should go for C-section because your baby is 4.5 kilos. She said no. When her labor started, she was reading a namaz. She completed her namaz and then she went to the hospital. She said she delivered 4.5 kilo baby within 4 hours. Okay, because she was practicing 500 squats every day. Okay, so understand. And there was this lady. She told us she did online course with us. Um, her child is, I think, now grown up, maybe in 20s. She shared that her child, when she delivered that son or daughter, I don't remember, but that time the baby was 4.5 kilos, and she lived. When the labor started, they were supposed to go to the hospital, but the delivery happened at the home only.
नहीं जनरली डॉक्टर्स ऐसा बताते हैं कि आपके बेबी का वेट ज्यादा है सो यू कैन नॉट डू नॉर्मल डिलीवरी यू ओनली डन विद द सी सेक्शन or
They
any
say you
problems
can't
and
do the normal delivery because they assume that you will not be able to take the pain, or you will not be able to go through the long labor process. Okay, but
because
it is
doc
the state of mind. Understand that if you do the right practice and right preparations, you can deliver the baby even who is 4 kilo.
because doctors are generally keep in mind fears and we think
Yes,
like
yes, they
that ki,
want. See, that's what I said. You have to find out who is doing more C-section, who is doing more normal delivery. There is this no client of mine. Both are gynecs. Husband, wife, both are gynecs. Husband is running IVF hospital. Wife is running maternity hospital. And I know they do a lot of C-sections and IVF. And most pregnancies like coming from IVF and diverted to the maternity, and they're one of the best hospital like doctors in my town. Okay, and I've taught yoga to them. If I wanted, I had taken my sister there, but I didn't because I know they have high rate of C-section. And somewhere they are preaching everything. They are preaching Garbh Sanskar in their hospital. They are preaching yoga in their hospitals. They are selling all those things.
Even for the underweight, they do C-section. It's
Not
my
underweight. Like they will give different reasons to go for C-section. You just have to,
my
yes.
my baby was 2 quarter, so it was like a C-section itself.
But
They
what
said
was the
you
other reason? Underweight is not the reason for C-section.
underweight, and they said the baby is very, no, the weight is very less. He can't take the stress, and he had the
No, no, these are all excuses. These are not the reality.
he
There are
had a
so
cord also, umbilical
yeah,
cord around the neck.
even the my sister had the umbilical cord around the neck. Okay, the baby had umbilical cord, but as soon as the baby came out, doctor had to clamp the cord because the cord was around. Okay, so doctor immediately took the cord, cut the cord, and took the cord. No, she didn't cut the cord. As soon as the baby came, she unwrapped the cord and then cut the cord. Okay, so doctors who are skilled, they know how to deliver babies with the umbilical cord around the neck. Unless the cord is like doubly wrapped, then it is difficult. If it is just a single wrap, actually it can come out.
Actually, it was not even my date. I went for a checkup. Probably we still had some 15 days left for the date. I went for the checkup and they immediately admitted, saying there is no heartbeat of the baby. So we'll admit today. And we have waited almost 24 hours. And then they said we'll go for C-section, and the
Yeah,
baby
if
was
there is a
underweight.
problem with the heartbeat, yes, I suggest not to take risk. Because if you have seen the ECG of your baby, like you have seen the scan of your baby's heart rate, and you see the heart rate is fluctuating or low, in that case, yes, you should go for C-section because we don't want to take risk, right? So if the heart rate is too high or too low, in that case, you need to go for C-section. Okay, but then it is not the reason that your baby is underweight, that's why the heart rate is low, or that's why you should go for C-section. Same is the case with the overweight. It's just that you need to mentally be prepared to deliver overweight baby. That's it. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, Millie.
Ma'am, I am in my 4th month, and because of the placenta previa, I also had got one spotting. So I am still on progesterone tablets. So my next sonography is due on 20th February. So after that, should I tell them to ask
No,
for
no, no.
progesterone, or that
No,
will?
no. You need to continue for the second trimester.
Okay.
And then just wait how long your doctor is asking you to continue.
Okay.
Okay. But it should not be beyond 30 to 33 weeks.
Okay. And all the labor preparation exercises are there in the different session also, no?
Yes, yes. In asana class, we have done practices,
Okay.
and I have mentioned also this is the labor preparation exercise.
And the warm water bags and everything is mentioned there,
No, no, warm water bag. I'm giving you the tips
Acha.
right now, so you can write it down too.
Right.
So I said aromatherapy, use like music or hot water tub. You can even sit on the in the hot water tub. It can also help relax your pelvic muscles and lower back muscles and the thighs. Or you can use a hot water bag. You can just give a massage to that with that wherever you are experiencing pain. It will help release the pain. So these are the tips for the support person, whoever is supporting you or you are supporting somebody. You can do all these things.
Okay.
Okay. Breathing, you need to guide them into the breathing, not through instructions, by doing with them. Okay.
So breathing was normal, no? Like inhale and
No,
exhale. You are
we will
teaching.
be
Yeah.
doing the breathing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So placenta, once the placenta is delivered, baby is delivered, then a woman goes into the recovery stage. So always understand each woman is different, each pregnancy is different, and so their experience through the labor and delivery will also be different. uh, I'm going to share the few positions through which you can deliver the baby. If your hospital is allowing you to use such positions, you may explore those positions to deliver the baby. Or if it is not a possibility, then at least before you get into the labor room, before you before that, in the first stage of labor, keep moving around. You don't have to stay on the bed. So you will see here the standing squatting position that can be used to deliver a baby with a partner support or a prop support. Okay. This is the kneeling down position. This kneeling down position on your knees, leaning forward, or using a gym ball, birthing ball, or some support here on kneeling like puppy pose. This position helps, especially when you have a lot of pressure on the back. Because if the baby is like this, baby's spine is towards the mother's spine. In that case, mother may experience a lot of pressure on the spine. In that condition, the kneeling positions might be more helpful for the mother to deliver the baby. And you'll see most animals in the wild that deliver on their fore. That is also one of the natural position that can be used to deliver the baby. You can use kneeling down position like this. The half lunge kneeling down can be used to deliver, or you can use birthing seat or the stool to deliver a baby. Some hospital can make you do the side lying position, but it is very uncommon. Most common position, you'll see the lithotomy position on your back. Um Most hospital will have this inclined position, but for my sister, it was completely lying flat on the back. These positions can be not very ideal because you're putting pressure on your back, and it leads to like the baby also receives less movement, so baby doesn't get the space to move through the pelvis, and also creates more pressure on the back. So your contractions tend to be more stronger, like it feels more strong when you are lying on your back. The upright position or kneeling down position to give birth. But if you are opting for hospitals, most commonly they will use this. So do not stay on your bed until you are in the pushing stage. Till that time, you keep moving, stay upright. Even if you want to rest, you sit on a gym ball and rest, or you can rest like this. Initially, for few hours, my sister was sitting on a gym ball and resting. Then she was resting like this, and my brother-in-law would give a back massage with a hot water bag here. So she felt a lot of relief and relaxed after using of the hot water bag. Okay, and then initially she was in upright position, that also helped in dilation of the cervix. Otherwise, if you stay on the bed, the blood circulation will not be strong towards your pelvis, and also the baby movements are reduced. So as you move, your pelvis moves, and moving of the pelvis can also help lowering the baby down. So it's very important to keep moving throughout your labor. Once you are in the pushing stage, then you can stick to the bed if you are not allowed to move, or if you are not allowed to use any other position to deliver. Okay, in ancient times, you will see some sculptures, like in some temples you may have seen some sculptures like this, where the upright position is used to deliver babies. So you see here the Kaliasan pose is used to deliver baby. Here the squat. Here the sitting upright position. So these are the some images from the some ancient sculptures or the temple. And in when I was teaching this course in Maldives, one of the lady shared that Maldives is made of small islands, and it, there was no hospital in each island at that time many years ago, and islands are too small and they're too far away, so you cannot even reach to the Malay and go to the hospital to deliver. So they had created one labor room, very small square circle with two stones like this, the stones like this. So women would step on those stones and squat down. So there is, even if they sit for a few minutes, there is no stress on the ankle. So like just like when you're keeping your heels on the block and you squat down, it takes the pressure off your ankles. Okay, same way they would squat down and they would deliver the babies in that squatting position. So earlier also they use those kind of positions to deliver baby. Okay, Any questions here? If you are interested in learning about the essential oils during pregnancy and labor, you can let me know, and I can share a document with you. And you can also have a little side income generated through it. Okay, those essential oils are also like naturally created, naturally made, and many essential oils are also consumable. You can consume them, so they are that great. So if you're interested, you can let me know. I can share the contact of that person who can share you the details. Okay, if you have any questions, you can let me know. Otherwise, the labor breathing you will be practicing along with the pranayama class. So I just quickly show you few different ways to breathe. If you want to make a note of it, you can make a note of it. Okay. The first is pulse lip breathing. I had mentioned when you are getting breathless, you can use this breathing even when you are not in labor. So you can just inhale through the nose, exhale through your mouth, making pursed lip. Inhale through the nose, whenever you're doing in the third trimester also some dynamic exercise, you can do it. So this breathing you can do in the early phase when you have contractions also. In early phase when you're getting contractions, you can even do this post lip breathing. Okay, from active phase and transition phase, when you have contractions, you can mix ujjayi plus pursed lip breathing. So you can inhale through the nose, ujjayi sound back of your throat, and exhale through the mouth. Okay, this is while you are in active phase, and the transition phase when you have the contractions, you can use this breathing. When you are in a pushing stage, you can inhale and you're going to blow from your mouth like you're blowing a balloon, making a sound. And you're going to slowly, very slowly release by contracting your muscles, abdominal muscles. So that helps in making your push more efficient. So when you have contractions during pushing stage, you can do this. Like you're going to blow a full balloon. Okay, you will make a hissing sound back of your throat and you will contract your muscles. Sometimes after exhalation, retaining your breath also helps in pushing if you are comfortable. Otherwise, you can inhale For some women, quick breathing helps. Okay, like this. So you choose what is working good for. For some, the long breath can help. For some, fast breath can help. Like Kapalbhati. It is not a Kapalbhati, but you are actively breathing a bit faster. So this can, for some, they're like mentally too stressed or experiencing a lot of pain. For them, the fast breathing can help better. Okay. For some, Brahmari Pranayam can also help. So while you are in early phase, active phase, or transition phase, when the contractions are coming, you can just constantly do the Brahmari pranayama. Hmm. 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 Okay, like that you can continue. Okay, like the example I gave, Srivalli actually practiced Brahmari while pushing also, because that was the one which was making her feel very calm. Okay, understand no birth will happen without the sound, and Brahmari can be a helpful practice where you can produce a sound from your throat and you can release. Otherwise, there'll be sounding from the stress. And always remember, the more you create stress physically or mentally, the muscles contract, and the tighten the muscles, harder it is to push, and it can lead to perineal tears. Okay, long labor will happen, and while you're pushing, the perineal tear will happen. Okay, so this you will practice in your pranayama class. Any questions?
Ma'am, if you don't mind, can you share the poster once again? The 3 stages of labor.
Oh, okay.
The entire thing for first stage.
That I deleted, sorry.
Okay, no problem. I'll see the
I
record.
erased that one because it would come here. What you wanted to know, I can repeat it.
Yes, please. For the transition phase, just the details.
What have you written?
I couldn't make a note for that. The contraction can
So
last
it
up to.
is the most difficult phase.
Mhm.
Contraction may be overlapping, last from 60 seconds to 90 seconds. And it can last from 20 minutes to 2 hours. Okay. Okay. Any questions?
Anisha ji, for the assignment, we'll
Yes.
take 2 prenatal case.
Yes.
Manlo, I'm taking 10 weeks pregnant with stress and spotting. For that, I have to write whatever you have given in the first paragraph. And one more case I'll take and I'll repeat the same thing. Like I have to write
Yes.
the point. Okay. Okay.
Ma'am,
Yes, Krishna.
assignments, how many pages we will
No
do?
pages. You just have to list down all the practices. Okay, you don't have to write the instructions. It could be 2 page, 3 page, depending on how much you're writing. And but you have to fulfill all the questions, all the points that are given on the top of the assignment. 30 minutes home practice, 1 to 1.5 hours class, Even if you go beyond the time, it's okay. You just mention the practices, because once you list down the practices and if that complication comes, you can just go through your own notes and see, okay, these are the practices and I have to make a class from these practices.
So for every person who comes to us, I think we need to maintain a file kind, right? At least in the beginning to see if they have any
Yes, in
complications,
the
right?
beginning, you will have to, till the time you remember that, okay, this complication, this is what I need to avoid. Always remember what you need to avoid. Once you know what you need to avoid, it will be easy for you to plan the class. That's what I personally do. Like once I know this problem is there, then these are the practices not to be done. Then I will know what can be given. You need to be clear with what not to do. Okay. Any questions? Okay, you can sit in any comfortable posture. Relax your shoulders. Bring your hands in Namaste. We will chant one Om, three Shanti together. Take a deep inhale. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. So I'm going to share two documentary movies. Those are the movies, compulsory movies. Okay, no escape. So I can share today the movies. You can watch it before Saturday. Okay, one movie is little long, 1 hour 20 minutes or so. Other movies like 50 minutes or so. But they will it will be a good recap for you. The first movie will be good recap, like you'll be able to relate to whatever we have learned. And the second movie is about the home birthing. It is a documentary of different birth stories at home compiled together. So you watch them and see how they have delivered the babies at home. The movie is very old, but now the home birthing and the natural birthing centers are becoming more popular. You can also see how in a natural environment they're giving birth. Okay, so you'll see, you'll have to watch these two movies. And if then on Saturday, if you have any doubts, you can ask me any doubts if you have on Saturday. Okay, wait. Let me check your schedule, whether the movie watching is live or. Oh, so you have movie watching live on Saturday, but you can watch on your own because you are supposed to do one more meditation that is still pending. Dipali has not finished all the meditation. She has to teach you one more meditation. So that can be taken on Saturday. Okay.
Ma'am, could you also share the birthing postures that the labor exercises, not the asanas, the during the birthing positions, basically.
Okay. Okay, so Saturday we may also keep. Okay, Saturday we'll keep the meditation. So your meditation that is pending, that can be done. And if there is anything that would be pending in my classes, like if I could not finish on time, that I will also finish on Saturday. Okay, so you can watch the movie before Friday, and then if you have, or maximum Saturday, and if you have any doubts or question related to the movie, you can ask me. Okay, well, good evening. See you tomorrow. Namaste.